Hello, I'm Mark Schomer. Today I'm going to be teaching you about three of the exercises that I'm utilizing in my strength and conditioning program for a baseball pitcher. The three exercises that I'm going to use are a half kneeling landmine press, a split squat, and a rear foot elevated split squat. The first one that I'm going to go teach you through is the half kneeling landmine press. So on this one, I want the ipsilateral knee down with the ipsilateral hand positioned about just the elbow just in front of the chest. I want that scap tightened, and then when you go down, I want a slight turn of the torso so that we build that tension through the kinetic chain, through that torso, and then explode up and stabilize at the top for a second. This is going to work a full range of motion of that scapula, building stability, mobility, and strength through that scapula and shoulder region. I also want to be tight at the core as well as the hip flexor so that we're using that whole ground through the kinetic chain, building power from the ground up. The second exercise that I use would be the modified split squat. And this differs from a normal split squat in mostly just how you position yourself to begin with. So most split squats are quite wide, like this is what you'd see with your torso back, and just like that. But as you can see, the range of motion of your hip isn't where I want it to be for a pitcher, because pitchers really need full hip extension on, as well as knee extension. That wasn't very extended either. So what I'd do is I'd shorten up the stance to be about 5 inches or so behind your heel and about 3 to 4 inches wide. So not very wide. And then the next cue that I'd have would be to have the knee over the laces with your torso right behind the knee. And then I'd go down and up, down and up. And this is going to help just more hip extension. And the reason I want more hip extension is because that is going to allow for maximal power and as well as range of motion, mimicking the pitching motion. The last exercise I'd use would be the rear foot elevated split squat. This is going to be more of the power, more of the strength exercise. And the reason I do this one would just be to vary the range of motion and the parts of the hamstring that we're using. Again, I'd cue that knee over the toe, and I'd really cue a stronger hip flexor engagement so that we're engaging the core, engaging everything from the ground up, and building that tension throughout the kinetic chain for pitching.